Can't nobody tell me that there ain't no God. This is how I know and I believe, and this is what I want to share with y'all. And hopefully it inspires somebody or whatever. But this is my testimony. This is what I'm sharing with y'all. So, boom. Hey everyone, this is the Network Ninja, your boy, back with another video for you. And this one, if you've been following my channel, you've seen that I've been dropping some Try Hack Me videos. I also do some CCNA videos, also doing some FortiGate. Reason why I'm all over the place, I just wanted to drop this video and share with y'all, right? And just allow me to, reintroduce myself. In this video, it's just going to be all about my origin story, how I got my start in IT. I'll be sharing everything from getting my first IT job with 3 felonies on my record, all the way to where I'm at now, how I was able to pivot from a network engineering position into the cybersecurity space. I'll be sharing that whole transformational journey with you. Also, another reason why I wanted to share this video, hopefully there's somebody that may be going through the same situation and facing the same adversities that I've already went through. So I'm just trying to bridge that gap for them. So as we begin my story, y'all gonna have to go back with me, and you're just gonna have to imagine just a young ninja in high school. And to really get to know me, we're gonna have to start all the way back there. And the reason why is because I traveled around a lot when I was younger. My pops was in the military, so we kept moving. We moved to Japan when I was in middle school, so that was a culture shock to me. Fast forward, you get some orders to get stationed stateside. So boom, we get stationed over here. So that's where I start high school, is in the States, which was another culture shock to me. Even though I was in the States, I was young, but coming back this time, I'm coming back in the mid-90s. So for all the old heads out there that's watching, you already know what time it was. It was the height of all that gangster rap, Tupac, Biggie, East Coast, West Coast beef. That's where I'm coming. So that was a huge culture shock coming from Japan. Just like everybody else in high school, this is how I started to get into trouble, because, you start smelling yourself. You want to have the girls and all of this other stuff, and you gotta get the J's. You gotta get the fresh gear. You gotta be fitted down. First day of school, right? So boom. I had worked a little summer job to get my shoe game up and all of that stuff. But when I came back, like my sophomore year, I believe it was, there was an upperclassman. He was my OG, right? So, like, my mentor to the streets, put me on to hustling and everything. Because when I ran into dude, he was a Chico, right? Big chunk, big charm, big chain. He had a big chunk on him, fresh shoes all the time and everything. So I just stepped to him and was like, plus I knew him from playing basketball and everything, because I used to play with older people, right, to build up that competition. Anyway, so I was like, man, what job you work? He's like, job? I don't work. And again, I'm green. I'm coming straight from Japan and everything. I don't know none of this stuff. So he put me on the hustling and everything. So fast forward, I'm out of high school. I'm still hustling. All my friends, they done went to college, or they done chose the military. They in the military. And so I just was like, shit, just trap or die at that point, right? I was just trapping it out. I ain't care about nothing. Didn't care about nothing. Wasn't thinking about my future, which leads me into my first point, right? So for me to develop into the person that I am, I had to create a vision. Because that was what separated me from my peers. All my peers, they was able to go to college, maybe mom and dad and money, or they did it on their own. No hate, you know what I'm saying? But they had a vision. They had a destination where they want to go. And that's my whole point, that if you stuck somewhere right now, it's probably because you don't got a vision, because you need a vision, right? Because that vision going to give you that motion. Because if you don't got no motion, you already know you're going to be stuck. It's going to give you that will, or a purpose, or a drive to create the reality you want, right? So the next logical question is, how would you go about getting that motion? Well, back in the day, I ain't had nothing but Google, or how you go about getting that vision. All I got is Google. Luckily today, y'all got social media. It's 2023. It's a guru. Every time you turn on YouTube or something, that you could go pick up techniques on how to develop yourself and everything. There's plenty of literature, everything out there for you to read online. People posting about it, manifest this and manifest that. Back in that time, it was just Google, so that's what I did. I had the desire to get a six-figure salary. I guess I picked that up off of like that Jay-Z song, a six-figure nigga by the name of, I guess that's where I got it from. So that's what popped in my head. I was like, I want six-figure salary. So boom, I Googled that, right? And it came back. I just Googled like top 10. You could even do it right now today. I think I did it a couple days ago. And it's still like the same pretty much. It's going to be IT or medical field. Those are going to be the dominating fields that are going to have them six-figure salaries. I knew I wasn't messing with the medical. I ain't like hospitals. I ain't like sickness and blood and all that. I don't do all of that. So I picked IT. Plus I played video games and this and that. Plus I told you my pops was military. So he did 20 plus, or he did 20 years in the military, specifically like in communications and stuff like that, right? So that was it. That was the advantage. So I stepped down to him and he hit me with the, he sold me the dream on it that everybody gets sold. That CCNA, you get six figures. Yeah, but they don't tell you the work that go behind it. It ain't, number one, they just not handing out them CCNAs. And then on top of that, the work that goes behind it, the person that you have to become to get the CCNA is not the person who I was. So now I got the master plan, right? All I got to do is pass this CCNA and then I'm going to get my six figures. That was the dream. That was the goal. However, I wasn't taking it serious enough, right? I was still out there. I had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I was still out there chasing girls and just not really growing up. I was still in the party scene and party mode, right? So I must have failed. This is when it was ICND1 and ICND2. And I kept failing at ICND2. I must have failed like 7 times. I can't get in my Pearson View account or I will show y'all the results. Once I'll post it or something. I'll share it with y'all once I get into that Cisco account. That leads me to my next point is faith. You got to have faith when you trying to, accomplish your goals or you trying to manifest something in life. You're going to have faith. Once I realized that, that's when I started taking it more serious. I started taking more action because that's what faith really is like you're taking action. Because if you wouldn't take action if you didn't believe in it, right? You would just be talking about it. That's what the vision part is. That's when people are dreaming, they talking about it, but that's not who they really are because faith is when you take that action. Just like we all know that Bible verse, faith without works is dead, right? So if you ain't working, if you ain't taking that action, actionable steps and all of that stuff towards your goal, then you ain't really about it. You just talking at that point. So I started really getting about it, right? I'm talking about 6 months. I think it was about 6 months to a year straight of just 4-hour days on the weekdays, 6 to 8 hours on the weekends. I'm talking about subnetting. That's why I'm a subnetting boss right now. Subnetting, VLSM, whatever it was, right? OSPF, STP, I was on it all over it to where I murdered that test when I got on it. So fast forward now, I done got the CCNA, so I'm ready to go get my six-figure job, but I still had those felonies. And this is where that doubt and faith really had to I really had to grow and learn faith at another level, right? Because, everybody from family to friends was like, dang, getting them charges, that stuff gonna stick with you for the rest of your life. And I didn't understand it at a young age, but if anybody is going down that road or that path, I'm here to tell you that stuff will stick with you for the rest of your life. And yes, I'm able to get jobs and everything, but it's still on there and I still got to explain it and all of that there. I wanted to talk about a little bit right now. So getting my first job in IT with Felonies. The first job that I got was not a CCNA job. I was a cable guy. I was installing cable and everything as a cable technician. So working with modems, the little local cable guy and just hooking up cable, hooking up the free cable. I say that to say this was I just had to get my foot in the door. And I didn't like that job, right? I can remember it right now. I'm working in the hot sun. It's the hot ass sun. And then on top of that, I got a 85-pound, 11-foot orange ladder. I'll never forget it. And I'm talking about I have to lug that around and everything. And I do got this gangster physique, you feel me? But that stuff got tiring. And I was at that job for 2 years. For 2 years of just, and I'm talking about that was probably one of the worst jobs I worked because where I'm at, you could they have crawl spaces. And there was one time I was crawling up underneath somebody's house and they flushed the toilet and the plumbing started dripping on me, and it was just like, and I was just installing cable, and it was for like $11 an hour or some crazy some number like that. It wasn't even really worth it, but I couldn't get no other job. I was getting hundreds and hundreds of no's. And this is where my faith really kicked in, because can't nobody tell me that there ain't no God. This is how I know and I believe, and this is what I want to share with y'all. And hopefully it inspires somebody or whatever. But this is my testimony. This is what I'm sharing with y'all. So boom, it's 2 years I'm in this, and I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of no's, right? Then there was one time where, I mean, I'm just beat up by this job at this point, and I'm doubting myself. I'm like, I ain't never gonna get a job. All of that was pointless. I'm just so negative, so negative. And I'm sitting in my truck getting ready for my day, and we used to have to work with these dispatch ladies to get your route for the day and everything set up. But this particular day, there was one specific dispatch lady, and she see me sitting in a truck, and she walked by me. We don't never, me and her have never spoke. I seen her in passing, but we never really like, we wasn't on no personal level like I was with the other dispatch ladies, flirting with them, I wasn't like that with her. I was just, it was cool. It was just she was just a real cool vibe type person. So whatever happened, she walked by my truck, and then she came by and knocked on my window, and I was like, what's up? She was like, man, I had a dream and God told me to speak to you this morning. So it threw me off kind of. So I was like, yeah, what's up? She said that God told her 3 specific things. Number 1, that I have to be slow to speak and quick to listen. That was number 1 thing that she told me. Number 2, she told me that I have to have faith when I'm praying. I can't pray and then be worried about if I'm going to get a job or not. She didn't say specifically a job, but she was like, if you have faith, you're going to have to step out on faith, and you're going to have to just let go and let God. And then thirdly, she said that I need to get my finances in order. I need to bring more organization, more discipline, more order to my life. Woody woo, I was like, okay, appreciate that. All right, I got you. Whatever. I still don't got no job, so I was still like negative. I was like, okay, bet, I'll take that. Boom, I'm driving, and this day it's a tough day. It's a bad day for me. I go to some apartment, and I'm trying to hook up this lady modem. It's just nothing's working, nothing's going right. So I gotta call the dispatch office, and I don't never get this lady. And this day I got her again, and she was like, "What's up? How your day going?" At this point, I forgot to tell y'all I had got a job offer for a real CCNA job, but the interview dude said, "Hey, I got the job opening. Your resume look good. You got the CCNA. Here's the interview." And he was like, I only got time tomorrow, this week, to schedule you in. If you can't get in, I'm going to have to move on to the next candidate. Just let me know if you can make it, yes or no. I had to work the next day, so I almost sent the email. Thank God I didn't. I almost sent the email and said, no, I can't make it, man. I got to work at my other job. Can I reschedule and try to go another? But it didn't seem like he was on that. So I was explaining that all to her. So this was like, it even like just thinking about it right now, it's just like, it's crazy. So she was like, she told me, she was like, Ninja, you have been here for 2 years. And she was like, do you know that you the only tech that we got that has never called in your whole 2 years straight? You ain't never called in. Right when she said that, I'm talking about like, it give me chills right now. It just gave me like, God just gave me a relief and was just like, he just like the alley-oop. And I was like, for sure. She was like, just call in sick tomorrow and then go do your interview. So don't stress over it. Have a good day. Boom. Clicked on me. My whole day, I was hyped. I was souped up the whole day. Boom, the modem start working. Everything start working. So I call in sick. Long story short, and this is the other thing that I want to tell y'all. So them hundreds of no's that I was getting, I was going on job interviews. I was getting job interviews now, but they was turning me down because they was like the background check. It had got so bad that I started trying to hide the stuff, and they would be like, we dug it up and we found it. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Goofy. We gonna find that. So I say that to anybody that's trying to hide your felony charges. Don't do it. They're gonna find it. Don't waste your time. Do what I did. This is what I did. I walked right in there to the interview of this job that I really wanted, and I told them, I was like, sir, you're gonna find these felonies. I'm not trying to waste nobody's time. Should we move forward with this interview? That's how I started. That's what I was like. That's my mindset. When I step in these interviews, I'm not finna sit through no interview and then be waiting for y'all to tell me that my background didn't come through. So he said, man, that don't got nothing to do with me. It's corporate. He was like, if this interview go well, I'll try to do what I can do to get you in. But this is corporate is bigger than that. It's not just something so simple. Like, you can't just think of it like that. So I got my first network position in the NOC at an MSP, and we were supporting over like 90 different companies. And I got put on a project to roll out and cut over for DSL broadband because I had experience working with modems from my cable job. After I got that knock position, I was so grateful to that there was really like a family there. I had a mentor there. Um, he put me on to everything, how to dress, how to move in that, you know what I'm saying, how to move in a corporate kind of environment, in a professional environment, because I didn't know how to move this politics and everything like that. And you trying to get raises and stuff. So I ended up staying in that position for 7 years. Or for 7 years pretty much in that knock position and just moving up. And I eventually became a knock lead. And that was by choice. I could have became an engineer, but I was just so complacent. I was just chilling. I just loved the job. I loved the people I was working with, as corny as it sounded. I was just chilling. It took my homeboy, shout out to my homeboy Ron, you know who you is if you're watching. He's like, bruh, he was like, you could go anywhere. You got the skills to make a bag anywhere. Why do you stay here? I said, it really ain't about the money. I ain't had no kids. Like, he had kids and stuff. So I was like, man, I don't got no kids like that. Like, I'm cool. I don't even need a lot, man. I just, I was just chilling. I was just so happy to have this IT position with my felonies. I was so scared to even try to go get another job. I was just like, nah, it's cool. Let me just ride this out. For somebody to see potential in you and you don't see it in yourself, that leads me to my third and final piece of where I'm at right now, self-development, right? And this is where I'm trying to manifest and I'm trying to experience the fullest potential of my existence, which is a main reason behind creating this YouTube channel, to share my experience with somebody, because I done climbed the corporate ladder. I done went from 10, 12 grand a year to 100K a year. And the only difference is nothing. We could go to 200K a year. I could be making 300K a year easy if I want to. I see it all over YouTube. People working 3, 4, 6-figure jobs, but that's not the wave though. That's not the wave. That's what I learned. Once you get to that 6-figure mark, number one, they taking taxes. You got to pay taxes. It ain't even worth it once you hit that. You might as well stay at the 50, 60 range. It's cooler down there. But people got kids now. Ninja done got older, right? So you're going to have to expand. And this is my way of expanding, is sharing information, my expertise and all my knowledge and my skills with people that are just getting started. And that's why I created this channel. And that's hopefully what I will do for some of y'all out there. It took the pandemic sitting me down to come to this realization, which another part of the self-development was me making a decision to pivot into the cybersecurity space. I got interested in it, and I see the landscape of IT is mainly people, either they're going cloud or they're going cybersecurity. Now, I could go cloud and everything, right? But I think what I want to do is something where everybody's going to need the security. In when I'm seeing like with the creation of AI or it being released to the public, I just see that security is more important than doing the cloud. And so that's where I'm trying to go. And the reason why I wanted to bring up how I pivoted into this, number one, because it's part of my self-development. And then number two, I just want to speak about how I got into my cybersecurity position. Now, it's for a very small cybersecurity company, but I was able to link up with an old director who created his own cybersecurity company, and he found me online through LinkedIn because we were still linked in from when I worked at the NOC, and he was a director of that NOC. And I mean, he was a mentor as well. It was a no-brainer for him to hire me. We have a good relationship, and he knows what kind of work ethic I have. He knows what kind of skills I have. And he was impressed with the work that he's seen on my resume, that I was developing these cybersecurity skills, that I put Try Hack Me on my resume. You feel me? I got a basic like SOC analyst position, but he's gonna move me up, and I'm gonna develop and I'm gonna get better each and every year to where I'm gonna be running it just like I was running that network engineer. And my goal now is to become this hybrid engineer. And that's what led me to right now and where I'm trying to go. And my goals now are to be a hybrid engineer and then share this whole self-development experience as a resource for anybody that's trying to grow and develop themselves as well. So I hope that somebody got something, that it was a powerful message today for somebody, that if I can do it, you can do it. That's what I was really trying to get across to y'all. And finally, last but not least, I just want to go ahead and leave y'all with a quote that is helping me today and help me in my growth process. And it goes back to talking about faith. And this is the best definition of faith that I have found. And I got to give credit to where credit is due. I learned this quote from Dr. Ben Hardy, who is on YouTube. Definitely check out his channel. And he is a organizational psychologist. And he got the quote from a book. I think Florence Shin is the author. Not sure. Don't quote me on that. But the quote is, faith is knowing it has received and acts accordingly. And I just thought that that was super deep, and it was a clear definition of what faith is, right? Faith is knowing it has received. That's the vision. You know, you could see it, you could believe it. But then the second part of that is, and it acts accordingly. That means that you have to become it to be able to have it, right? You have to be actually doing the action of what a CCNA is, or what a cybersecurity engineer is, right? You're going to have to be learning all of the different tools that a pen tester would use, like Nmap or NCAT or any of the other tools that they may, Metasploit, all of that there, right? Interpreter, all of these different tools and all of this new information and technology you're going to have to learn if you want to get in that role. Same with a CCNA. You can't sit there and be scrolling your Facebook and knowing all there is to know about the celebrity gossip, but you can't tell me how to subnet nothing. No, let the people that scroll and know about celebrity gossip, let them do that. If you want to be a CCNA, then you do what a CCNA do. And like I said, listen to my story. That's 4 hours that I'm putting in. Are you putting in 4 hours? Because that's what I was doing. And if you can get away with doing it in 2 hours, then more power to you. But you're still going to have to put the time in. I hope now that we have a better connection, y'all on the same wave length with me, understand where I'm coming from. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all go ahead and click that next video. Y'all holla at your boy. Yeah.